Words, the magic principle used by all of us, even those global institutions that deny that magic is even a thing. With words, wars are started and ended. With words, marriages begin and end. With words, you can create a mighty nation, strong, healthy, and with words, you can level these nations back to dust. Edward Bulwer Lytton writes that the pen is mightier than the sword. We can use words to convey the truth or to obscure the truth. We use conventional facts and on-the-nose writing in order to persuade people through logic using words. We also can spin those words and use more poetic allegories in order to convey truth in more artistic ways. Laurel Airica is an amazing researcher as well as a wordsmith, a word spinner, a word magician, if you will. And she's very right when she says that language is a software that not only can but should be upgraded, especially if we want to see humanity snap out of this psychological schism that we are choosing to wallow in. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. But even Joseph Campbell says that God is just a thought. It's a name. It's an idea. But what God really is something transcendent of what the category of that word could ever touch.
God is a thought. God is a name. God is an idea. But its reference is to something that transcends all thinking. The ultimate mystery of being is beyond all categories of thought. My friend Heinrich Zimmer of years ago used to say, the best things can't be told because they transcend thought. The second best are misunderstood because those are the thoughts that are supposed to refer to that which can't be thought about, and one gets stuck with the thoughts. The third best are what we talk about, you see. And a myth is that field of reference, metaphors referring to what is absolutely transcendent.
What can't be known.
What can't be known.
Or can't be named.
Yes.
Except in our own feeble attempt to clothe it in language.
And the ultimate word in our language for that which is transcendent is God.
Many Jews don't even write out the full word, God, as a sign of respect and possibly some acknowledgement that the name could never encapsulate the being, presence, essence, or phenomena of God. And please remember that all those words I just used were categories in order to explain God, that one thing that is inexplainable. And in a way, we use words when speaking of God and categories when trying to encapsulate God as ways to point at that which cannot be pointed at. It's a paradox, not a contradiction. Song, poetry, story. These are things that we use in order to point at that which cannot be pointed at. St. Ambrose said, singing together unites those who disagree, makes friends of those at odds, brings together those who are out of charity with one another. And Madeleine L'Engle said, it may be that when we communicate with life on another planet, it will be through music, not through language or words. Because language and words are imbued with deeper, more melodious meaning when they are sung. And some would say that singing offers a deeper insight into what is being communicated than just dry, rational, intellectual thought. It's also quite curious to point out that when trying to point at God by singing and the in-between-the-lines kind of communication that comes through melody and harmony, that when pointing at that ineffable essence or whatever category we may try to place around God, you could also do just as good of a job by completely shutting your mouth. Stephen Milhauser said, in the beginning was silence, womb of all words, which all words seek, mother of these, breath of my life. Perhaps sound is only an insanity of silence, a mad gibber of empty space grown fearful of listening to itself and hearing nothing. As arrogant as it may seem to insinuate that you are, or even call yourself God, conversely, isn't it belittling to God's creation to call yourself anything less than God? Is God only a fraction of God when it is a part of the whole? Can you segregate, separate, and quantify God enough to say that I or you are only a piece of God? Is God incapable of making any one part of the creation of God less important or more important than another? You see, the trap that most fall into is believing that they are God, but that the other, especially the enemy, is not God. And really, when you call yourself God, as opposed to your given name by your parents, you're really just changing clothes. But the real thing is to not belittle yourself with words. Whatever you choose to call yourself is to take care of yourself through the very words that you allow your body to utter. Bruce Lee said, "Don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body doesn't know the difference. Words are energy and cast spells. That's why it's called spelling.